I worship Govind, the primeval Lord, residing in his own realm, Golok, with Radha, resembling his own spiritual figure, the embodiment of the ecstatic potency possessed of the 64 artistic activities, in the company of her confidants, Sakhis, Gopis, embodiments of the extensions of her bodily form, permeated and vitalized by his ever blissful spiritual ras. So that is the Lord Govind. So we were at the last paragraph of this purport. So Shivam, would you like to start?
Okay. Whenever any dispute arises regarding the pure cognitive pastimes such as Goloka, etc., we would do well to remember the precious advice from the holy lips of Sriman Mahaprabhu and his associates, the Goswamis, that the truth absolute is ever characterized by spiritual variegatedness that transcends the variegatedness of mundane phenomena, but he is never featureless. The divine rasa is lovely with the variegatedness of fourfold distinction of vibhava, anubhava, sattvika, and vichari. And the rasa is ever present in Goloka and Vaikuntha. The rasa of Goloka manifests as Vraja rasa on the mundane plane for the benefit of the devotees by the power of Yoga Maya. Whatever is observable in Goloka Rasa should be visible in Goloka Rasa. It is in a clearly explicit form, hence a distinction of paramourship and concubinage. Should I continue?
Yeah, till here.
Okay. The variegatedness of the respective rasas of all the different persons, the soil, water, river, hill, portico, bower, cows, etc. All the features of Gokula exist in Goloka, disposed in an appropriate manner. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Sumit, do you want to read?
There is only this peculiarity that the mundane conceptions of human being possessed of material judgment regarding those transcendental entities do not exist there. The conception of Goloka manifests itself in proportion to the degree of realization of the various pastimes of Vraja, and it is very difficult to lay down any definite criterion as to which portions are mundane and which are uncontaminated. The more the eye of devotion is tinged with the cell of love, the more will the transcendental concept gradually manifest itself. So there is no need of further hypothetical speculation, which does not improve one's spiritual appreciation, as the substantive knowledge of Golok is inconceivable entity.
Sure. Ravi?
To try to pursue the inconceivable by the conceptual process is like pondering the empty husk of grain, which is sure to have a fruitless ending. It is therefore one's bounden duty, by refraining from the endeavor to know, to try to gain the experience of transcendental by the practice of pure devotion. Any course, the adoption of which trends to produce the impression of featurelessness must be shunned by all means. Unalloyed parakriya rasa, free from all mundane conception, is a most rare attainment. It is this which has been described in the narrative of the pastimes of Gokula. These devotees who follow the dictate of their pure, spontaneous love should base their devotional endeavors on that narrative. They
Rinaji?
will attain they will attain to the more wholesome fundamental principle on reaching to the stage of realization. The devotional activities characteristics by illicit amour as practiced by the worldly minded conditioned soul are forbidden mundane impurity. The heart of our upstill Sripada Jiva Goswami was very much moved by such practices and induced him to give us his conclusive statements on the subject. It is the duty of pure Vaishnava to accept the real spirit of his statements. It is a great offense to disrespect the Acharya and to seek establish a different doctrine in opposition to him. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Shiksha Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. So right in time, I think this is a great purport in length by Sri Pajiv Goswami and Sri Sanatan Goswami. Describes how Govind Adi Purusham is residing in Golok with Radharani and all the gopis. So Prabhuji, would you like to speak for a couple of minutes on this?
On whole purport, no?
Right, like summary on that.
Yes. ठीक है, 4-5 मिनट में उसको समराइज करता हूँ.
हाँ, 3 हाँ.
This sloka is all about telling that Krishna manifested in different form. First Radharani form and then other gopis form. Radharani manifested in other gopis. So here it is said, Krishna and his potency are one and same. Still they are separate entity eternally. Eternally they are playing for pastime. Eternally they are separate entity, but they are same on transcendental platform. And this transcendental platform is called Sringara Ras. Sringara Ras means armorship. That is, and after that, second stanza in this purport, Prabhupada is describing, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj describing that the extension, separation of this bhava is has two category, that is alamban and udipan. Alamban means support and udipan means stimulation. So, and again further he describing support has two different kinds, that is ashraya means supported, and then who is giving the supporter, any vishay, object. So here ashraya is Radharani and all sakhis, and vishay means supporter is Krishna himself. After that he start describing all 64 qualities of Krishna and Radharani, and all 64 qualities, attributes are present only in Krishna and other gopis, and which is present in Golok Vrindavan Dham. And these 64 qualities are base of all pastimes of Krishna and Radha. That's why he is describing all 64 qualities to introduce us. So on the basis, he is including all these rasas in the pastime Krishna with the Krishna and Radha. They are including all 64 qualities. After that, he has started telling how these leelas are not mundane. The whole narrative is going on to just justifying that if a mundane person is thinking this leela is illicit or illicit, So he is going on the describing whether this lila is illicit or illicit. So conclusion, in that conclusion, he is uh, telling about Rupa Goswami, Jiva Goswami, how they are justifying this. Okay, and in the summary, they are telling that Vibhava, this visible, here there is Golok, which is in transcendental Divya Lok, that is very upper to all planetary system. And here is home Vrindavan. It means Vrindavan, which is situated in this material earth. So both have two kinds of leelas. One leela is visible and one leela is invisible. So the leela which is visible here in the home Vrindavan, which is apparently we are thinking that it is mundane, but they are telling it is organized by Yoga Maya, and Yoga Maya is itself a spiritual body. So how can, if she organizes any lila, it is material itself. So he is telling ki all these leelas are on transcendental platform, and it is beyond our material conception. So we should not take it as a mundane relationship of any worldly people. So, and he is describing Lord Chaitanya, his associates are telling, according to our realizations of spiritual realization, our gradation in realization, we are thinking of this pastime, we are concluding this pastime. So we don't think, we should not take as a mundane, we should must take as a spiritual, pure spiritual. We don't think it on material platform. That is the whole sum of this.
Right, got it, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for explaining. Any comments, anyone? Or we can move on to the next slok. And that's slok 5.38.
सन्तः सदैव हृदयेषु विलोकयन्ते यं श्यामसुन्दरमचिन्त्य गुणस्वरूपं गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि श्यामसुन्दरमचिन्त्य गुणस्वरूपं गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि.
So I worship Govind, the primeval Lord, who is Shyam Sundar. Krishna himself, with inconceivable, immeasurable attributes, whom the pure devotees see in their heart of hearts with the eye of devotion tinged with the salve of love. So what this is saying is Premanjan, yani Prem ka kajal, Churit Bhakti Viloch Nain. So प्रेम के काजल लगा के भक्ति नेत्रों के द्वारा, right? So people who are devoted with full devotional bhakti, संत है सदैव, यानी संत जो true devotees हैं, साधुजन हैं, सदैव हृदयेषु विलोकयन्ति. So सदैव, always, हृदयेषु, inside the heart, विलोकयन्ति, दर्शन करते हैं. So यम श्याम सुंदरम अचिंत्य गुण स्वरूपम, अचिंत्य गुण स्वरूपम यानी बियॉन्ड इमेजिनेशन, राइट? कल्पना के भी बाहर जितने गुण हैं, गुण स्वरूपम है, ऐसे श्याम सुंदर. And as we read in the previous sloka, how Shyam Sundar resides in Golok. So even though he resides in Golok, even though he is beyond imagination, Ananta Gun Swarupam, still the people who are devoted, people who have Prem Bhakti, through that Prem Bhakti, they always see Lord Krishna in their heart. Such Lord, Supreme Lord Govind, I worship too. That's what Lord Brahma is saying. Hare Krishna, Jitendra.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Isha, would you like to read?
Yeah. The Shamsundar form of Krishna is his inconceivable, simultaneous personal and impersonal, self-contradictory form. True devotees see that form in their purified hearts under the influence of devotional trance. The form Sham is not the blue color visible in the mundane world, but is a transcendental variegated color affording eternal bliss, and is not visible to the mortal eye. On a consideration of the trance of Vyasadeva as in the shloka, Bhakti Yogena Manasi, etc., it will be clear that the form of Sri Krishna is the full personality of Godhead and can only be visible in the heart of a true devotee, which is the only true seat in that state of trance under the influence of devotion.
Rinaji. आप म्यूट पे हैं You are mute, Rinaji.
Didn't realize, I'm sorry. When Krishna manifested himself in Vraj, both the devotees and non-devotees saw him with their very eye. But only the devotees cherished him, eternally present in Vraj, as the priceless jewel of their heart. Nowadays also the devotees see him in Vraj in their hearts, saturated with devotion, although they do not see him with their eyes. The eye of devotion is nothing but the eye of the pure, unalloyed spiritual self of the Jiva. The form of Krishna is visible to that eye in proportion to its purification by the practice of devotion. When the devotion of the neophyte reaches the stage of Bhava Bhakti, the pure eye of that devotee is tinged with the salve of love by the grace of Krishna, which enables him to see Krishna face to face. Hare Krishna.
Krishna. Ajay?
The phrase in their hearts means Krishna is visible in proportion as their hearts are purified by the practice of devotion. The sum and substance of this shloka is that the form of Krishna, who is Shyam Sundar, Natvar, best dancer, Murlidhar, holder of flute, and Tribhang, triple bending, is not a mental concertation, but it's transcendental and visible with the eye of the soul of the devotee under trance.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I think this is, so this shlok, I mean, the most important aspect in this one is that love by the grace of Krishna, which enables him to see Krishna face to face. That means we can see Krishna, we can get darshan of Krishna, right? How? Prema jan churit bhakti vilochanena, prem bhakti ras से अपने हृदय में हमेशा जो दर्शन करते हैं उसी तरह सब दर्शन कर सकते हैं. And it's visible in proportion as their hearts are purified by the practice of devotion. So as like together we are doing satsang, as together we are doing chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So that's producing the transcendental vibration. So this Mahamantra is not just a mantra, it's a Mahamantra and it's transcendental. It's direct, as we have read in Bhagavad Gita before, right? Hare Krishna is like, and we saw Swami Prabhupada's interview, Hare Krishna is directly associated with Lord Krishna. And as our bhakti improves and as our love bhakti improves, in proportion, our heart gets purified, and we will be able to see the darshan, have the feeling of the Golokvashi Shyam Sundar. So even though he is beyond imagination, Achintya Gun Swarupam, still in the heart we can see him as our love of devotion increases. Any comments? Anyone? Okay, so I think we only have 4 more minutes left. Somehow this is taking a little longer, which is fine. So I think today is Radha Ashtami, celebrated in a big way in India. So there is a video from Mayapur temple, which this morning, Indian time morning, they played that. And I was looking at it in the night yesterday. So I think, and then I found it that we all can see for a few minutes. Like we have 3 minutes. I think it will be nice to see the Abhishek of Radharani. So I'm going to bring that up. You can see that.